All right, so today I'm joined by IceyDio. He's a content creator on YouTube and TikTok. He mainly makes GPO content, although he has branched out into other games. And yeah, let's get right into the actual discussion with my first question: the current state of GPO. Thoughts?
Current state of GPO. I'm very disappointed. I think that when a lot of people originally played this game, update one, update zero, we had kind of like this. How do I explain it? Like this thought of what GPO could be, and like this expectation,
Yeah,
and I feel like it didn't meet what I wanted from the game. I mean, obviously the game's still pulling in players, so it's doing something right. But I
yeah,
really wanted more of this adventure aspect, this crew aspect where you really it's just like the community's always together and always doing things like events or crews fighting and just that's really what I wanted from the game, and we're getting more like this grinding content.
yeah. I feel
I
like
think that
a lot. Like I agree with you completely. When I first started playing GPO, I really what I wanted from the game was I felt as though, especially in Update Zero, it kind of did capture that One Piece feel. It did feel like an adventure. You were
definitely.
exploring new areas. But then eventually it got to this point where the devs made this decision where to prioritize, I guess, like you said, grinding stuff like dungeons and this sort of thing. They chose to prioritize that over actual content, like in the main game. And like I've made videos on this before, like the event updates really took away from the main game because eventually after a while those updates go away and the actual map itself, the core map, doesn't expand. So I completely understand what you mean about adventure, but when it
Mhm.
comes to actually like making a game more of an adventure based game, how do you really go about that? Like, what are your thoughts on that one?
I think leaving us in the dark. Adding islands, don't tell anybody. That's like don't tell anybody you added a new island. Just let us discover it on our own. So it
That's a yeah.
kind of leaves this whoa, whoa, whoa. They just updated the game, but they didn't tell us what they added. Obviously
Mm,
they would tell you the new fruits and stuff like that, but oh, there might be two new islands somewhere. Let's find the new islands. Let's explore. While you're exploring, you're fighting other crews on the seas. That's what
mm.
this was my idea, and I made a video on it a long time ago, and it was just this idea just to have everybody in the public server interacting with each other. And I think that things like um dungeons, things like what else? What else?
Yeah, because you love
One more.
the public server, and I completely agree with you on that. But I think it's difficult because it's very hard to make a Roblox game that caters to both to people who are looking for like a an adventure experience, like open world kind of that sort of thing, and then
Hmm.
people who are looking for basically a Devil Fruits farming simulator, which is kind of what a lot of people actually want. Case in point, Blox Fruits. Like there are loads of games where it's basically the entire premise is farming and trying out new Devil Fruits, that sort of thing. Where like in in doing so, neglecting like the adventure part of stuff, but it's a very difficult to find that balance, if you got what I mean.
Hmm.
So
Definitely.
adding new islands but not telling anyone. I think that's a great idea until you realize that the YouTubers would have to make guides and testers would already know about it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're a tester now, aren't you?
I'm a tester now, yeah, that's what so I kind of have a vested interest
Yeah.
in that sort of thing. But in the same sense, mystery is temporary. People uncover shit
Hmm.
really fast in Roblox because people spend a lot of hours in the game. They'll find shit out quickly.
Hmm.
So it's hard to keep things relatively secret. Although I'm very hopeful about this new update that's coming out, Thriller Bark update,
Hmm.
because it's the first update in a while that's not an event update, and we're getting back to the main game. We're getting some new content. Hopefully, it's going to be enjoyable, interesting, and explorative. But
Uh-huh.
we're gonna have to wait and
I mean,
see.
see the thing about that, and this is my thought on it. We could have already had this during the Halloween update. I think that during the event updates, they during the Valentine's update, we could have had the Boa Hancock Island, and that could have been permanent. So
True.
I don't see why they're adding Thriller. I mean, eventually we're gonna have to have it, but I just feel like them adding it now is wow, we just had a Halloween update with a scythe and all this extra stuff. You could have did this during the Halloween event update and had it be permanent, but
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's definitely a little bit like a. It's kind of like a knock on the community where we we have all these event updates which we could have used to add stuff like Thriller Bark or
Mm-hmm.
the Amazon Island, and all this other stuff, and instead we got this like, it's kind of like, the game is a One Piece game fundamentally. We don't need Santa Claus in the game. It's nice to have Santa Claus, but do we
Mm-hmm.
really need Santa Claus? Would it not be better to add something that's really One Piece related? Like, for example, if you're doing Christmas, add Chopper's Island. Add that stuff.
Exactly.
Add some quests on Chopper's Island, maybe like once you complete all the quests on Chopper Island, the fireworks go up and like the cherry blossoms, that sort of stuff. Like stuff like that, where it's like you take stuff from the anime and you kind of reference it in the game. That is really good, and it's definitely, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
a better addition than this like cookie cutter kind of like, you should just have this like like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. Like we don't really need that, really.
It's nice to have, but yeah, we don't need it. And if they would have just been adding content this whole time, the game wouldn't feel so dry in a way, because
I
we
agree.
would be
Yeah,
having these constant updates of like, okay, um, it's Halloween, add Thriller Bark. Oh, it's Valentine's Day, add whatever. It's the anniversary. We're gonna add this. So I think that event updates. We're back on event updates. We're supposed to be on Thriller Bark, but yeah, I really am hopeful for I really am hopeful for Thriller Bark, and I'm trying to be more optimistic about updates. Like, I don't know if you see, but I've been very like critical and very like,
it's
my
not easy
expectations are
to
like
be.
really low.
Yeah, it's not easy to be like excited though. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like my opinion on GPO is shifted fundamentally. Like I have trouble, and I think me and you are in a unique position where we can afford to criticize the game because we don't really have anything associated with it. Like I know a
Hmm.
lot of other like Roblox YouTubers, they're in a position where they kind of need to rely on like GPO for their money to an extent.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like, whereas I don't have to, so like I can criticize it freely, and also like sometimes I'm gonna be real with you. You can make money criticizing GPO.
Oh,
Like
definitely.
like videos like GPO is boring or stop playing GPO when it gets boring. That's that sort of stuff. Those often get more views than than the videos that are like praising GPO, because people
Hmm.
want like the criticism rather than like the just like what like what's the word like
I
really
guess
biased
praising of
point
the
of
game,
view. Yeah, like the
but I mean,
biased point of view.
people love negativity.
They
So
do.
people like to hear you talk shit. People like to hear you like really just rag on the game, even though sometimes the games do stuff that I like, and I know that if I spend a 20-minute video praising it, it's not gonna get as many views as me spending a 20-minute video talking shit about it. So it's like,
I also think it's also partly because at this point I mean me and you in particular, the content we make on GPO isn't very entertaining for us. Like to an extent, like I don't really want to like partially one of the meta ideas in the GPO content space is make like a PvP video, right?
mm-hmm,
Like trying out Ito or this sort of thing. And while that's fun, it's not really that enjoyable to a certain extent. Like I've kind of fell out of like favor with like I'm not sure I can even like enjoy GPO as much anymore. Like I would never
mm-hmm.
go out of my way to play GPO unless I was making a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I find myself not even really playing the game. I might turn it on, walk around for 2 seconds, and then turn it off.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
I I don't find myself rushing to press the record button like I did when I first started out posting a video every day. Even on
Mm.
TikTok, I don't post as much as I used to. So I just can't. I just can't. My love for the game, and this used to be one of my favorite games, it's just gone.
Yeah, I
Um.
agree, but I also think like might be partially because we didn't actually like the reason why people like games is twofold. The first is the actual game itself. The second
Mhm.
part is the community you have around the game. So it's like Minecraft is a good example because Minecraft, it's like a lot of people think it's boring, right? And it
Mhm.
is. To like, playing Minecraft by itself can be boring, but if you have that right server with the right people, it's fun, right? Likewise with GPO, like GPO is boring, unless you're playing like a wait. Were you there in the Were you there in like the GPO Squid Games, that sort of stuff?
Oh yeah, I was in the first one.
Yeah, so like that sort of. Oh, yeah, of course you were. 'Cause we were on a team, weren't we?
Yeah, how'd you
Yeah,
forget?
because you kind of got kicked out really early, but
Oh
I,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, but like that was fun, and that was, in my opinion, it really wasn't. How do I put this? It wasn't the game itself that was fun. It was how we played the game, and I think that's important to remember. How you play the game will impact how fun the game is to you, right?
That's true. Seiji Four said something in an older video of his, and it really it really gave another perspective on anime games and their communities. And he was saying a lot of people complain, "Oh, this game's boring, this game's boring, this game's boring." If we came together as a community and made our own events, like the Squid Game event,
Yeah.
but like if we came together as a community and said we're gonna do a worldwide tournament, everybody's involved, we're gonna put in all these rewards, and really just if we had and maybe we shouldn't blame the game. Maybe we should blame the community sometimes. Maybe it's just a bad community. Maybe it's just a community that's not creative or a boring community. And that kind of and it may be true. It may not be true. It may be true to only a certain extent. But it really made me put another perspective on communities of these games rather than just like the devs and like the devs aren't doing enough. But that's just one way I really thought about thinking about it.
Yeah, I totally
Um,
like. I've seen that video from CG4,
you saw that,
and
right?
yeah, I saw it, and I posted a comment, and it was like, um, I completely agree. But the issue is, it's very difficult to get the GPO community together because we're so fractured. Like, there's no like GPO community because we're all doing our own thing, and that's partially because we're so separated. The players are so
Mm-hmm.
separated, and the devs. I respect the devs a lot. Benir is an incredible modeler. Furyu is a great scripter, but here is the truth of the matter. Furyu himself has become incredibly distant from the community. He doesn't
Yeah.
really care about it, and because he's not so active in the community, there's nothing really unifying us. There's no one person to unify behind. There's no one cause to unify behind. So there's like there's like not as much to actually do. Whereas if there was like let's say if Boyu hosted a tournament, if Boyu was like let's say every, I don't know, every year Boyu hosted a tournament, and it was like the grand GPO tournament, everyone competes. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he has like a legion of mods, like like all those mods,
Yeah.
like Alex has them and the other people. Like they could just
He's not mod no more.
wait, what happened to him?
So it's a long story. I'll talk to you about it later. But,
Okay, no worries. So yeah, but like if like all the mods, if they like had to like manage these like brackets and like feed people into the tournament and get them through, that sort of stuff would be cool. And I think we need more stuff like that in the game where we have a purpose. Because right now it feels GPO feels aimless in my opinion. Because number one, there's not that much we can actually do in the game. It's very limited. And number two, there's no rewards. There's no incentive to do a lot of things. There's no incentive to get bounty. There's no incentive to have crew rewards. There's no incentive to do this or that, and that. But if the devs could incentivize certain things, they could make things feel more worthwhile. They could encourage the community to, like CG4 said, like rally behind a certain cause, that sort of stuff.
mm-hmm. There's a couple. Let me break down what you said. As far as Foyu, I'm sorry. Let me clear my throat.
That's okay, no worries.
Okay, yeah. So as far as Foyu, I think his hands-off approach that he's taking. I'm not one to tell somebody how to run their community or how to run their game because I've never made a game, so I can't really pass extreme judgment on it. But I think that his hands-off approach is more harmful than helpful. I think we need to see a lot more Foyu or just somebody to be like the head community organizer, just somebody that's really like, okay, who's really running the ship, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Because
let's
Furyu is very
see.
much like he's like in the background, and it's like even if you're a content creator, it can be hard to reach him. And I get that he's busy. I'm sure he's very busy. But
Mhm.
like if he's too busy, then I think he needs to allocate somebody in the community to really step up and like maybe it should fall on the content creators to do this. Maybe that's what we should be doing. Maybe
Um,
it's our responsibility to be the figureheads. Maybe we should start hosting events, or I think maybe a microcosm of that, we shouldn't be trying to host events. Maybe we should be trying to host events for us, like content creator events. So we're not bored.
Hmm.
At least that we're not bored, because then that will inspire other people to host their own events, that sort of stuff. So
I think if we band together, me, you, whoever else wants to do, I think we
who's
can get
left?
enough
Who's
people
left? That's
interested.
who the
Yeah,
hell's left, bro? Like
yeah,
so
we're
many
like
people
the
jump
only
ship.
guys here.
Yeah, we like. I feel like we're the like we fell asleep on the bus and everyone else has left the bus and we're just like we just woke up.
Yeah, everybody's on deep woken. Everybody's talking about Eternal Seas or whatever the hell's going on, and
Emblem tales and that sort of stuff. It's like
Emblem Tales, and we and you are still on old ass GPO.
I feel like there's a lot of people that got left behind in that switch though. Like it wasn't just us. Like I'm pretty sure like Suki. What does Suki do right now? Is he making content on GPO? What's he up to?
I think doing little GPO. I mean, thing is, he got his GPO content creator role, so I don't think he's too role taken for some like stupid stuff. So I don't think
Oh
he's too
wait,
fond of
he
GPO
got
right
his
now.
role taken. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, he kept. It's a funny story,
Yeah,
but yeah,
a
he's
lot of
doing
people
like deep
suffered.
woken
Yeah.
too. I've watched some of his deep woken streams. Like he's still
Mm.
doing it.
That's
So
good. I mean, a lot of content creators that like disappeared off this planet, do you remember Kiku?
yeah.
Kiku is. I haven't actually heard from him in a very long time, but like, there's a lot of people who like. I feel like if I was gonna go back in time and try and like timeline what happened, so there was the first wave of content creators. You had me, AGZ, that sort of people, and then like after them came like you got your Sakesha, your Pepper, your Kiku, those kind of people, and I guess you were included in that because you were doing TikToks back then. And
Mhm.
then somewhere along the line, people who started around the same time as me, like Winter Clouds, AGZ, they don't really like GPO as much anymore. They really just like didn't really. I don't think they particularly like it anymore. Especially AGZ. AGZ has told me in private that he doesn't really like. I was saying, oh, GPO is finally making some real changes. Maybe like I was being really hopeful about it, and he was kind of didn't shut me down, but he was like, yeah, that's good for you because I think he doesn't see himself as a GPO content creator anymore as much. He
Hmm.
thinks he's more of like an anime game content creator, which is great.
And he kind of he is.
He is. He definitely is. 100% he is. But it's kind of I guess it's just how things go. You know, like the people move on, but I do feel like me and you kind of got left behind in that like in that big switch. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
but the question now though is, do we try and salvage what's left of a GPO or do we jump ship? I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna ride. I'm thinking about just riding out GPO and just seeing how long it's gonna last.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there's a Jing game that comes out that really catches my interest, like Deep Oaken didn't really capture my interest. It's just not my cup of tea. Um, but like maybe Emblem Tales, I might hop on Emblem Tales if it really catches my attention. I might hop
Yeah.
on Eternal Seas if that's really something that catches my attention. But right now, I'm gonna ride out this GPO wave. And there's also something else that you said that really rides home another point we made though. You see AGZ, you, and like are like a lot of these OGs don't really care for the game anymore. And like a lot of these new people coming in are like really here for like the new content, the grinding. And I just think
Yeah.
that's another example of like a disconnect in the community. But
I mean,
uh,
some of these new content creators are awesome. Like, I'm not sure if you know about like Fiji. Like, I'm Fiji. Like,
yeah, yeah, I see
I'm
him.
Fiji's awesome. Like, his content's great. He's getting good views. I mean, like Mr. Olympia. There's a lot of people who they almost like because they built their channel around GPO in a different way to how me and Ags did. Their channel, like they can kind of take full advantage of what GPO offers because their
Hmm.
channels are designed for GPO, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm trying to navigate the space where I was a commentary GPO YouTuber and now I'm kind of like unsure of where to go. I can't keep talking about the same stuff. GPO is kind of stagnant. I can't keep talking about the same stuff again and again and again. You get what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's like, I imagine it's probably similar for you being a TikTok content creator and like a shorts content creator. It's like you can't keep doing the same short again and again and again. You have to have new ideas,
Very
and
true.
when there's nothing, when there's very little that's really happening in the community that's new, it can be tough to think of ideas. Um, that's why I've been considering maybe starting a series of something, right? That would give me like
Hmm.
a framework to go off of. But
Hmm.
I'm unsure about that. Like, I'm not sure where to go with that.
I really like that video you did. It was like a retrospective of GPO,
Yeah.
where it just went over. I think that if you would have like expanded that over maybe 2, 3 episodes, that would have been really cool to see.
I agree, but also it's like I really was not necessarily enjoying writing that script. I thought it was kind of like again, like I, I'm kind of one of these people who even my nostalgia for the game is running out.
Hmm.
Like one of the only things that just kept me interested in GPO was the nostalgia. Like I loved the
Hmm.
game before, I should probably love it now, but for some reason I don't feel that way about the game as much anymore, and it can be tough to really be passionate about it. You know what I mean?
One of my friends mentioned something to me. Um, Randy, if you're watching this, but he mentioned I think it's either the sunk cost fallacy or the sunken cost fallacy, and it's like you spent so much time into it, you feel bad kind of just leaving it. We built channels around GPO. We spent countless hours playing GPO. It kind of feels hard to just say, you know what, goodbye.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Um, we just
That's very true. Yeah,
spent so much time. And people say, oh, if you don't like GPO, stop playing it. I have 12,000 people who want to watch me play GPO on YouTube. I have 40,000 people who want to watch me make shorts on GPO on TikTok. So I can't
yeah.
just say goodbye.
I feel like I do. I completely sympathize with you. I feel like it would be great though if I could experience what I experienced from GPO at the start in a different game. Like but the issue like I thought I really had hope. I really thought Deep Working was going to be that for me. I thought it was going to I was going to get really into it. It's going to be really fun. But I don't know. Deep Working. I think there was something about Deep Working like fundamentally in the game that it made me feel like the content gap. Like I couldn't make content on it because it was so different. The content like scene was so different to what I make on GPO that it
Mhm.
was hard to make the switch over.
So basically, you wanted to make the switch over, but keep like your core commentary.
Kind of, yeah. I wanted to
Yeah.
just like I wanted that like era or ear of like familiarity, but I couldn't find that. I couldn't get my footing in Deep Woken. It's like I couldn't stand up straight. I kept falling over because like the game was just so different. And I don't know, games in general. It's very hard for me to get passionate about games because here's something I realized: the more time you spend making content on a game, where you force yourself to play the game, like daily
Hmm.
uploads, you end up falling out of love with the game because it feels like a chore, right?
It's like a job.
A job, yeah. When in reality,
Yeah.
I feel like it's important to keep that fresh and, but I'm not sure how to do that.
Like I said before, like pressing the record button isn't so fun anymore. But as far as Deep Woken, and I don't know if this is just what I've been seeing, but I've seen a lot of people falling out of favor with the game.
Oh yeah, its
Or at
player
least
count dropped to like 6K recently, which is like nothing.
yeah. So it's like a lot of these people that were like, oh, let me tell you, I made a joke about Deep Woken, and I was like, oh, the game's gonna fall off. It's not gonna be any good. Don't waste your time. It was a
Yeah,
joke. And when I tell you I had so many people mad, I think I lost like at least 700 followers that day. I made that joke.
yeah,
So many people were so passionate about this game, and it's so weird to see now. Like people are just like, you know, Deep Woken.
yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's
It's weird to see the
the
hype
anime
die.
game space is tough because I think it can be really difficult to because games come and go so fast, like relative to
Hmm.
other games. Whereas like GPO has lasted 2 years, and that was surprising. Like
Hmm.
on not 2 years, 1 year I guess, because it was November
We
of
just had the anniversary.
yeah, so maybe like a year and a few months. Um, but like I didn't think it would last that long, right? Like I think a lot of games they last so long and it can be really surprising,
Hmm.
but they also go really fast. Like games can come and go like in like a few months,
Demon
and
Fall that lasted a solid week.
it lasts a solid week and it's gone. And it's like, how do you build how do you like stay with the game if it's dying, and that could be tough. But I don't
You
know.
know,
Yeah,
something GPO did, and GPO was able to keep our interests long, like, our interests long enough to where, like I said, that sunken cost fallacy or that sunk cost fallacy,
yeah,
where you're like, oh damn, I put so much time into it, I can't just leave, you know. And I think that these other games are having a hard time keeping like the attention to where you feel like, damn, I put so much time into it, I can't just leave it, you know. So I
I
think that's
completely
where
get that. Yeah,
GPO kind of like sets it was able to keep our interest long enough and keep that hype long enough to where we just can't, yeah, I can't leave it. But Demon Fall, I spent the week. It's trash. I don't want to play this anymore, and barely
yeah.
put any time into it. You know.
So it's also kind of difficult to, well, like when I'm playing games like GPO and that sort of thing. I feel like I'm wasting time all the time. Like if I'm doing dungeons, I'd be like, I feel like, why am I doing this? I don't enjoy this. Why am I playing dungeons? Or like if I'm doing arena for even like too long, I'll be like, this is getting kind of boring. I don't want to do this anymore. And like I
No
can't,
reward.
no, yeah, no reward. I can't really play GPO for longer than an hour, which might be a good thing really because I'm not wasting so much time. But I think it never really used to be like that. I used to be excited about playing the game. I used to come home and be like, oh my god, I can play GPO. But now I'm like, I don't want to fucking play this game. There's nothing like interesting about it. That's why I'm thinking, like, my current thoughts are, and I've been considering this for a while. I've always thought that it'd be good to have a um a group, because the issue is being a solo content creator. It gets kind of lonely, right? Like I'm sure you probably experienced this, where like everyone else kind of playing the game, but like you have to record, so it can be kind of like it can be kind of isolating. And in my opinion, I would like a group. I would like other YouTubers who I could regularly collab with, and I could maybe start a series with, because that way I'm not gonna be. It's not all gonna be on me, right? Like it's
Hmm.
not just like me talking to myself to a brick wall, right? So yeah,
Like a content creator group. That'd be interesting to see.
yeah. I thought
Um,
about that, like a group.
you don't see, you don't really see too many GPO collabs. You know,
You really
it's
don't. You see
usually.
like 2v2s, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like full on like series is where people collab. Like I'm not sure what the series could be, but that's one of the things I've seen that a lot of other YouTubers do that is not really a thing in the anime Roblox community. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people in other communities, they'll do like they'll have like a series, right? Like an SMP or like that sort of stuff where it's like it's a group and they play together. Whereas when it comes to GPO, I mean, I would like one of my ideas I had, and this might be a terrible idea, but I was thinking it would be like a GPO hardcore playthrough, but it would be
Hmm.
like a bunch of the other YouTubers, and we'd only play at like certain intervals where everyone was available, and we played like half an hour or whatever, and it'd be like a
Hmm.
hardcore SMP playthrough of GPO.
The fruitless progression, like, or just something.
Yeah, like no, it would be like so it would be like we start off with like five of us, right? One of us makes a private server, and then maybe even like three of us. And the aim is we allocate a certain amount of time a week, right? And we'll come on all together during like I don't know, Saturday or Sunday, or like Friday, and then we'll like the group would play, and we would like have to progress through GPO without dying once. And if a player died, they'd have to be like removed from the SMP, or like make a new character, that sort of stuff.
Oh boy, didn't you do something similar to that before?
I did a
I think I
hardcore
remember.
solo playthrough, and that performed really well. Like I think the first episode, I can find it now. It'll be on my YouTube channel. I'll go look for it now. It was GPO Anchor Hardcore. So yeah, yeah, the first episode got 23K views, which is pretty good.
Really good.
Pretty good. Second video is currently sitting at like 10K views, but even that, I kind of got bored of it because it was like it was lonely, right? But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if I did that again, but it wasn't just me, like if it was like me and like you and like somebody else, then it would be more interesting. and it would be like a way to make GPO interesting, have a series, and kind of play through the game. You know what I mean? Like imagine
Say,
Rich, huh?
would you say that a lot of these content creators get along?
Get along.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that a lot of people don't like Ags, and I think Ags is great. Like genuinely, like one of my favorite people in the community. But a lot of people don't like Ags. I've heard this before. Like I've been in voice chats with other content creators, and they've
Uh-huh.
been like, "I don't like Ags," and I've been like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. What has he ever done?" And they're like, "Oh, he's like I don't know, whatever." And I'm just like, I don't think you understand Ags, right?
Uh-huh.
And I think the way to solve any of these conflicts is to talk to people. It's very hard to be mad at somebody after you've like had a full on conversation with them and you
Hmm.
understand where they're coming from, right?
I think that's true. I think a lot of people judge before they really get to meet. I've been guilty of it too. Before I meet somebody, you just judge them, and then like you meet them, and like, oh, he's cool,
Yeah,
But
and that's kind of
um,
like exacerbated by the content creator status because it's kind of like
yeah, and everyone has an inflated ego, and everyone's
true,
so it's
true.
like a measuring contest. Oh man, this dude only I have 10,000 more than you, dude. Who do you think you're
Yeah, I've
talking to?
heard about that.
You
A lot of people do that. Like I've been talking with a YouTuber before, and he straight up told me like as kind of like an insult, he'd be like, um, "Well, yeah, but look at your ad revenue," and I'd be like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
Yeah.
We're having a like. I think it's not really fair to attack people on where they are in terms of like how they choose to make content.
Hmm.
Like in the end, that's their choice, and I think a lot of people who've been doing it for a long time, or because the issue is right, people take content creation on YouTube seriously because they make money off it, right?
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, like I know Winter Clouds and ATZ, like YouTube is like their thing, like that's like what they do, right? And I kind of like Winter's like he graduated high school and he was like I'm gonna do this YouTube stuff and he's doing it currently. I think I don't think he's going to university or whatever, but point is they like for them it's a matter of like success is they have to succeed.
Hmm.
Whereas someone like me, I'm a student. I have like a plan which doesn't really involve YouTube, and it's like I don't need to be so crazy obsessed with like how much I upload and that sort of stuff. And I think people get like super obsessed in their own like world, and they forget to realize like what's like YouTube isn't the same for everyone else. Like not everyone does YouTube for the same reason, right?
I think for people like AGZ, it's a different ball game
It
because it's
is,
like,
yeah,
oh damn, I gotta pay rent. You know, I'm
true,
not playing. For me, it's like, oh, I'd like to get 10,000 views or 20,000 views would be amazing. I really like to get that. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. You know,
yeah.
so it's a different ball game for them. So I see why they take it a lot more seriously than me. Or I don't know how you depend if you depend on that money.
I don't
I'm
depend
not
on it at
sure.
all. Like I'm a student right now, and like having money at all is good, but I really don't need that much because I'm currently in sixth form, which is like you Americans probably know what that is, but uh, I'm almost done with that. Like later this year, I'm going to university, and when I go to university, I'll have student finance, which basically means that the government pays me a certain amount a month to go to university. So it's like
Sounds
money's
amazing.
nice.
It's totally not American.
I'm not sure if America has that or not, but here it's like when you
There's
go
an
to
equivalent.
yeah, it's pretty equivalent. Like when you go to university, you get like a certain amount of money a year based on your like your parents' income status or whatever.
And you pay that
So,
back, right?
huh?
You pay that back, right?
Yeah. You pay it back. Oh no, I don't think you pay the student finance back. I think you pay the tuition fees at the end. But I'm not sure about the. But what I'm saying is, money is not a must-have for me. I do like
Yeah.
making money, but it's not like a. I don't need to maximize my view count and upload every single day. I would like to, but sometimes school has to take precedent. You know,
Mhm.
like I'm
And like
like. Mm,
I don't know about you, but I don't see myself being a YouTuber 5, 6 years down the line. I just can't see it. I see myself either in university or just studying something for school. Like I don't see myself, even just even 2 years down the line, I don't know if I'd still be making YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Um,
I get what you mean. I can't see myself, especially making GPO videos. I can't see
especially
myself making GPO content in 3 years' time.
unless they have a major comeback, which I I highly doubt. But the comeback of the century, but I just don't see it. So it's kind of like I said, for people like AGZ, I got to pay my rent, dude. This is a
Yeah.
fucking competition. I need to get this money. For us, it's like, whatever.
And
But
also, they wake up every day and they have the entire day to work on videos.
yeah,
Like, we
yeah,
don't
because
have
it's like
that.
their career. We're students, so
Yeah, we don't have as much time. I know Ag started as a student, but definitely not anymore. So
and we have interests and hobbies outside of GPO, like I don't know. I like playing other games. I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I've been playing a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh.
oh, I
I
love
play my
Yu-Gi-Oh. I
guitar.
love Yu-Gi-Oh. Like,
You've been playing Master Duel?
huh?
You've been playing Master Duel?
I no, I haven't. I haven't played online Yu-Gi-Oh for a while, but I mean, I grew up on stuff like I remember. This is gonna sound super like nerdy, but growing up in my high school, we had like a Yu-Gi-Oh club, and I was in the
What a
Yu-Gi-Oh club. I know I
nerd!
was a nerd, but like we used to like every lunchtime we'd go into the room play Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and
Uh-huh.
we even like tried to like I don't know how much of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime you've watched.
I've watched a lot of it.
But like when I was like 14 years old, we printed off a bunch of those like stars, like a bunch of stars, and every person in the club, like all 12 of us, everyone got given like I don't know like 3 stars, right? And for the rest of the next few weeks, you had to duel other people in the club and try and win stars. And then at the end of the week, the top like 5 people who had like a certain amount of stars would then be in like a finals tournament, and it was like this whole like thing. And I was like 14 at the time, but I've always loved Yu-Gi-Oh. My brother he plays Yu-Gi-Oh. We
Mm-hmm.
play all the time. I use Venom, like Venom deck, like
Uh,
in GX, like the snakes.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I use that deck currently. I used to use Archfiends, but that was a long time ago.
Like
But yeah, I
Silver
love
Skull.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, but you should definitely check out Master Duel. It just came out like I think 2 months ago.
What
It's
is it?
really good.
What
It's
actually is it?
basically it's like Yu-Gi-Oh. Are you familiar with Duel Links, the little mobile game that
Yeah,
they
I didn't really like Duel Links because it wasn't really Yu-Gi-Oh, was it? It was
yeah,
like
it was trash. But it's basically it's like it's like online Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's official and it's just really good. It's better than I expected it, to be honest, cuz usually I don't like licensed Yu-Gi-Oh games cuz they
mm,
want you to spend money to buy virtual cards and I'm not for it.
yeah, I
But
agree. I get what you mean.
yeah, but they did a really good job with it. I think you should check it out.
I'm looking at it now. It looks pretty good. It
Yeah, it's
is it
a
on is it on
good
PC or just
price.
mobile?
PC, phone, PS4, Xbox, you name it.
It's on all those things.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. Um, I mean, I'd be down to do a GPO Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, like
no, that would be great.
GPO Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Maybe we could have like decks that are built around certain things. Like I don't know, like a Pika deck, like
Mm-hmm.
all the things are like light attribute or whatever, and then
Like
like a mirror
Goro,
deck, like fire. Yeah, horror could be like dark.
or it
Um,
could be like healing.
yeah, like
That'd be tight.
I'd be totally down to do a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament with a bunch of other content creators. I'm gonna write that down. We'll have to organize that at some point. That'd be fun.
But what I've
Um,
noticed is that I posted I think what two Yu-Gi-Oh videos. A lot of the GPO community isn't familiar with how Yu-Gi-Oh is played, what it is. Like a lot of the comments is like, "I'm just here to support. I have no idea what's going on." So like,
yeah, they don't really
maybe
understand
it's
it.
just me or like I don't know.
No, I also love Yu-Gi-Oh, so you're not alone. It's more like I do agree the community as a whole probably has no idea what Yu-Gi-Oh is, but
Hmm.
I also think it'd be fun. It would just be fun to like play Yu-Gi-Oh again. 'Cause I haven't played in so long.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, and also like we could like stream it. Like I don't know, have like a day where like everyone. I bet Ags played Yu-Gi-Oh. Like Ags is Ags. Ags is not a nerd, but like I feel like he might be a nerd on the inside. So I reckon he probably played some Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. I bet you Winter Clouds played Yu-Gi-Oh. I bet he did. That's seems like the thing he would do. But yeah, that would be good. But back to GPO.
Yeah, so before we lose
Too many
too
viewers.
much
Yeah,
interest. But
I
what was one of
think
the uh,
yeah we have black marketing, anime for games because we're already at 40 minutes.
uh
So I think an anime for games would be a good place to end this.
all right.
So like, what anime would you like to see turn into games? Like in general.
Definitely. Uh, Obviously, we're just talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. I think we need either to see a Black Clover game. We haven't had a good one.
Wait,
That'd
a
be
Yu-Gi-Oh game? Did you say like before that?
no, no. I mean, I said we were just talking about like Yu-Gi-Oh games, but there already are game adaptations for Yu-Gi-Oh.
On
But
Roblox.
oh, not oh yeah, on Roblox, yeah.
I played one of them, but like I feel like they never really captured, like in the same way Roblox One Piece games never captured the feel of One Piece. Roblox Yu-Gi-Oh games never captured the feel of Yu-Gi-Oh. Right?
Have you played Dual Dimensions X?
I think I have. Let me just check. I played a few of them before. Let me have a look here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Dimensions X. I haven't played Dual Dimensions X. What's it
Oh
about?
man. Well, the only problem with the game is you have to know how to play the game because it's not an automated system. So like
Oh, I think I have played this. Is it where you have to like place the cards on the floor?
yeah, so
Yeah, I played
you
this.
have to know how to play the game, which is a problem, and it alienates a lot of people because they just do not know how to play the game. But
Mm.
uh, but as far as other games that I would want to see, Black Clover is one. Um, Rurouni Kenshin is another one. But Black Clover more so, I feel like we haven't seen like a good Black Clover game on Roblox like
I
at
can't
all.
speak to that because I haven't actually watched Black Clover. So
We haven't watched Black Clover.
I think I read like the first chapter. It's like I know
Uh,
roughly what's going on, but it's like
yeah,
magic
no,
and
that's
swords and that sort of thing.
one of my favorite new gen. Another Hunter x Hunter is another one that we just.
We haven't
I
seen
think
a good one in a while. Yeah.
good one, yeah. And I think if we had like a GPO style, well, GP, I don't want to say GPO style.
Yeah, because
Um,
I used to think GPO style, wow, it's so amazing, GPO
yeah,
style. Now I'm thinking like GPO style, no, please don't give me
yeah.
Hunter x Hunter Dungeons, no, please. Like I
No,
want, yeah,
let me say GPO style in the way where
the models and
like what
shit.
we expected it to be and the
Oh, okay,
models,
yeah.
but like kind of like that open world. It's
Mm,
perfect for Hunter x Hunter. That open world exploration with an RPG aspect of stats.
I
It'll
agree.
be really good to see a Hunter x Hunter game, as well as it has. It's like One Piece. It has that big fan base that people want to
I
see.
mean, we have a Project Slayer coming out, which is basically like a deep, basically it's like Demon Slayer but GPO, right? Like that kind of
If I see
style.
another Demon Slayer game, I'm gonna throw up. I'm
Yeah, I
sick of
think
Demon Slayer
I
games.
agree. I think I had enough of that. But Rurouni Kenshin would be good, but isn't there a samurai game coming out already? It's called like Musashi or something.
I haven't heard too much about. I've heard it. I haven't heard
Hmm.
too much about it.
I thought
But
it's
like I
really
said,
good, but I don't know if it's that good. I just heard it's good. So
Rurouni Kenshin is kind of like it's based in reality. I feel like a little too much. I feel like it'll turn off a lot of people. I mean, yeah, it's obviously anime. And it has its like
moments, but
it has its moments, but I feel like it's too based in reality for people to be like really interested into it, as well
well,
as it
I mean,
not
I'm
being that.
I'm pretty sure the samurai game is gonna be like based on reality. So
Hmm. Like
uh,
like even during the time period of like the Meiji Restoration and all that.
yeah. So I think it's like only swords and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
But I feel like I mean, there was some fantasy elements in Rurouni Kenshin, like like the scene where like the giant guy comes down.
is that the one that spit fire?
No, you're thinking of the I know who you're thinking of, but no. Wait, whereabouts are you in the manga?
Around volume 18, towards the end of it. So I haven't seen Shishio and Kenshin fight yet, but like I'm
Oh,
pretty close to the
yeah.
end.
So you probably haven't seen this, but there's like a few characters like in like Shishio's entourage that are kind of like
Uh-huh.
strange. that like aren't really humans. Like there's one who's like the size of like two buildings. So it's
Oh,
like
I
that.
haven't seen that.
Yeah, that guy's like like it's kind of like, is that fantasy? Yes,
Yeah.
but like other anime, Cowboy Bebop. I feel like a
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop game would be awesome, like spaceships and that kind of thing.
Have you seen a Sword Art Online?
Have I seen a Sword Art Online game, or have I seen Sword Art Online the series?
Both. How about?
I haven't actually played a good Sword Art Online game before, but I have seen the series, and the series was awesome. But I'm
Hmm.
not sure how you could. I'm not sure. I think Emblem Tales will just be like Sword Art Online.
Yeah, you have a point. I guess it is kind of based around that like leveling system and like.
I don't think Sword Art Online does anything that's really that like individual in terms of MMORPGs, whereas like Emblem Tales will probably do. I feel like in terms of Roblox RPGs, I'm most excited for Emblem Tales because I'm hoping Emblem Tales will be what I thought Deep Woken was going to be in
Okay,
a way.
so you wanted to get what you wanted out of Deep Book. So you're hoping you can translate your content to Emblem Tales, like that commentary type of content.
Maybe I just want to play them. I just want to play the game and record some MLS because like it looks interesting, it looks
Hmm.
fun. Like I like games that take skill and strategy, whereas games like GPO, like you don't really need to like be like you can do everything in GPO at around 10% brain usage. Like it doesn't take that much to like do anything in GPO. Like farming a boss is very easy. So like I feel like hopefully MTL's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, I really like the graphics on it too. It's really impressive.
Yeah, the graphics look awesome. I know Kuro, the guy who did a lot of stuff for GPO currently is
Yeah.
he also works for Emerald Tales, so
Yeah. And shout out to Kuro. He's the only person making like the dev team feel alive.
I agree. Well, but Banir is doing
Veneer does his part. You're right, but like I see so many like he's like reassuring messages. Don't worry, we hear you guys. You know, stuff like that. It's really good for the community.
Yeah, I
So
agree. Um Hunter x Hunter games, we need a game that isn't ultimate. What's that game called? Ultimate Finale?
didn't that last like a solid 2 seconds?
Did you play it?
No.
I played it. Yeah, it didn't last that long and it was kind of dead, but that was the last like big Hunter x Hunter game I ever played, so I
No,
feel like
yeah.
a lot of games get released, but nothing really catches my eye, you know?
I think they're all at the core the same thing, a bandit
Mm,
beater, you know? So I think that turns
yeah.
off a lot. I think that like I keep saying, like this exploration aspect of it would really benefit the game.
I agree, but also it's like benefit the game for whom? Because like some people genuinely love the Bandit Beater thing.
Oh
Like
boy.
I know it's crazy to think about it in this way, but like I've met like I think a good like 75% of people who play GPO love Bandit Beater stuff. They love doing dungeons. They hate
Grinding.
when a game makes them actually think. They they want grinding gameplay.
Well, I think that's a testament to the age range of
Yes,
Roblox.
definitely the age range. I mean, if you look at the age range of like GPO, I'm gonna be real. They're mostly like 12 years old,
Mm-hmm.
especially those that play the game a lot are 12 years old because like Blocks Fruits, for example, a lot of people who play Blocks Fruits are very young
Mm-hmm.
because it's not challenging and you can kind of progress very easily and there's a lot to do in the game, but it's very much like grinding, so it's a lot easier for the little kids to do.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'd argue Deep Woken's probably got a higher age for the player base, but
It requires a couple of brain cells.
yeah, I think that's a couple of brain cells. Although I've seen some pretty like some pretty what's the word, bizarre deep Woken players who are kind of strange. I'm not sure they have too much going on there, but um, that's not a diss on Deep Woken. It's just people. But yeah, I think definitely there's a lot of games that I'd like to see, but also I don't know. It's like you said, it's hard to be hopeful nowadays. I feel like I'm very much critical of the anime game space in general.
Yeah, my love for it's been torn down as well. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of, riding this GPO wave. Anything comes, catches my attention, I might play it. But
Mm,
it's just it wasn't as interesting as it was like a year. I feel like ago, a year
yeah.
ago.
But
I feel like I was invested.
to not end this video on a very nihilistic like perspective, I'm gonna add a little bit of optimism. There are a lot of games that are coming out, and I feel like out of this like drought where there's not really much games to play that are really catching my eye, I think there's a lot of stuff on the horizon, like Emblem Tales,
Hmm.
and a Project Slayer, those sort of games, where it's like I have hope for the game. And I mean, as long as the Roblox anime game space is around, new games are gonna come out, new devs are gonna like arise, and
Hmm.
I think we're a long way off from the entire platform dying. So
Oh, we're
there's
way
a
far from
yeah,
that.
there's
We're
a
we're
lot more
nowhere
to come.
near that.
There's a lot more to come. Uh,
I think
yeah,
even though it's hard to do, we should have a good viewpoint and like try and be positive. We should try and be
we should
positive.
try. Yeah, I agree.
It's not easy, but yeah, we should definitely try and have a better outlook on like the future and like these games and hope for games to have a comeback. Hope for Deep Woken to have a comeback. I hope it comes back, and with an update and it rejuvenizes rejuvenizes the community. I hope GPO comes back 10 times better. So yeah, we
Yeah.
just have to have a more positive outlook on things.
I think that's a great place to end the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I'll have IceyDio's like information on screen, so his TikTok, his YouTube, his Twitter. I'll have them all on screen. So make sure to go follow him and, subscribe to all his channels. And yeah, have a great day as always. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Bye bye.